In these problems, we're working on writing equations of lines when we're given the graphs. And there are two things we really need to pay attention to, and that is the y-intercept and the slope. So the y-intercept is where a line crosses the y-axis, and you can see they've actually got that point plotted here, and that is at a positive 4. So the y-intercept here equals 4. Now slope is the rise over the run. So we usually write it as a fraction, and the rise is the number of units it goes up, and the run is the number of units it goes over. So if we look at this point right here, we could start here and we could just count how much it's going up. Well, actually, in this case, it's going down as it goes over. So the rise is going to have a negative value, but we'll count those. And then it seems to cross this point right here. So I think I'm going to count from here down to here. And it goes down 4, and it goes over 2. So the rise is down 4, that's a negative 4, and the run is 2. So rise over run is negative 4 over 2, and we can simplify that. That's just negative 2. So the slope equals negative 2. When we have this information, we have enough to write the equation of a line. We're going to use something called slope-intercept form, and that is the form of y equals m times x plus b. And in this situation, m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. So all we have to do is plug in these numbers we've found. We found the slope was negative 2, so y equals negative 2 times x, and the y-intercept was 4, so plus 4. And that is our equation for this line. So it looks like choice D. Let's try another. Here we're being asked to find the slope and the y-intercept of a line that's plotted on the graph, and then write an equation. And the equation is in a slightly different format than slope-intercept, but we'll get to that. The first thing I want to do is find this y-intercept. It's pretty easy. We're just looking for where it crosses the y-axis, and here it is down here, and it looks like that is negative 7. So the y-intercept is negative 7. The slope is rise over run. So I want to find, well, I can start here at negative 7, and I want to find another spot where it goes right through a dot here, and it looks like right here it does. So let's count the rise and the run. That goes 1, 2, 3, up 3, and then over 2. So rise over run would be 3 over 2, and that's our slope. So looking at the answer choices, let's see, it looks like B is the only one that has 3 over 2 for a slope and negative 7 for a y-intercept. So I guess this must be the equation of the line. But how did they come up with that? Well, we can take these numbers and put them into slope-intercept form to start, and then rearrange things to make it look like that format they have it in. So let's start. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So in this case, we would have y equals 3/2 x minus 7. So that's our equation for the line in slope-intercept form. Now it looks like they've got everything all on one side of the equation and a 0 on the other. So we want to get everything on one side. It also looks like they don't have any fractions, and we've got a fraction here. I can get rid of this fraction, though, if I multiply by the denominator. If I multiply 3/2 by 2, then I'll just get 3. So that's what I need to do, but I can't just pick out this term and multiply that by 2. I've got to multiply everything by 2 on both sides of the equation so that it balances. So on this side I get 2 times y, and on this side I distribute the 2. 2 times 3/2 is just 3, so that's 3x, and 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. Now I want everything all on one side of the equation. They had everything on the left side, but it doesn't really matter. The easiest thing for me to do is just move this 2y over here by subtracting 2y from both sides. That'll leave 0 on this side, and that's what I want, 0 on one side. And then I'm just going to write the terms in the normal order that they've got here, which is x and then y and then the number term. So 3x and then a minus 2y and a minus 14. So that looks like what we have in the answer choice up there. So that's a little bit of work with writing the equations of graphed lines.